Hello everybody, welcome back for another episode of Cooking with Kobi. So today we are going savoury instead of sweet. So today I'm going to make a salmon en croute, like a salmon in spinach and puff pastry. So that's what I'm going to make for you. So first you get half an onion, make sure the heat's on. You're going to thinly dice the onion after you remove the skin.
A few moments later.
Take the stalk off. Okay. Now, put your knife in the center and halfway through the onion, and then top halfway through, slide them, and then put lines through it to make it easier to chop. Now we thinly dice the onion. Don't want big chunks, or else it's just going to be chunky. This is a red onion, but you can use a white onion. Make sure that it's thinly diced. Don't want big chunks in the salmon Wellington. Okay. Now, put the onions in the frying pan. We need the onions to soften up before we put the spinach in. Make sure it's on a good heat. So just let the onions soften. While they soften, I'm going to go wash my hands, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. The onions have softened a bit. So now, you put 2 knobs of butter in. The butter and the olive oil is doing its work. Okay, now add the spinach in. It doesn't matter how much you add, because if you add a lot, it's just going to wilt. Like, it's going to go into tiny little weeds or something like that. So you're gonna shrink a bit. See, that's a lot in there. There's not gonna be a lot once it's done. It doesn't take long for the spinach to wilt. Put some more in. Don't want to overcook the spinach because it is going to go in the oven and it's going to keep cooking in the oven, so we don't want to overcook it. We need to season layers. So get salt and some pepper and season the layers. And there's some salt. There you go. As you can see, they're starting to wilt. Not as big anymore as it was before. Okay, now we take it off the heat. Don't want it cooking it. We do not want it cooking anymore. Or else when it's finished in the oven, it's just gonna burn. So it's not off the heat. Okay. Now get some cream cheese, and we are going to put it in a bowl. Don't put the whole tub in, just like a little bit. I mean, half of it. Okay. So now once the onions and spinach have cooled down, we combine it together. And then put it in with the cream cheese. It's a very simple recipe, salmon en croute. Okay, now we mix it together. There you go, all combined in now. Okay. Now, we put that in the fridge to leave it to cool now. So then, we get the most important part of this dish, the salmon. Okay. So, it's a very important part of the salmon because this is the main thing. obviously there's skin on the salmon, so we don't want skin, we want it skinless. Takes time, make sure you do it carefully because you do not want to cut a hole in that salmon. There you go, skinless. Now we got it. And now I'm just gonna wash my hands. I'll be right with you. Okay, here we are back. So I got the salmon and the puff pastry. So we are gonna season the salmon now. In with the puff pastry as well. Then salt. Don't want it too salty, the fish. Okay. Now, got some egg, which we're gonna mix well. Okay, there we go. The egg. So now we're gonna brush the egg onto the pastry. Like an egg wash, so it sticks. Okay. Okay, so now, before we wrap it, get our onion, spinach, cream cheese. So that goes on top of the salmon. You can put it on top. You can put it underneath salmon, but it's in now. So we'll season it a bit more with a little bit of salt, not too much, and a little bit of salt, not too much. Mix it thoroughly through. Okay, there we go. Now, we put it on top of the salmon. Now spread it with the back of your spoon. Don't want to put too much because the fish is the star of this savoury dish. Okay, so we got a bit more. We'll probably save that for like a future episode. Or just chuck it away. So now, get that pastry on top of that spinach, onions, salmon. The other side. Okay, there we go. Now, tighten it. Tighten it around that salmon. We don't want any spaces. Okay. Now, trim off any excess pastry. Trim that off like so. Bit more egg wash. And on the other side as well. It's kind of like a parcel. Tighten it around that fish. And a bit more egg wash on top. Get rid of any excess pastry again. Okay, now we're gonna make lines so the air can get in. So we're basically scoring the pastry. Now we're gonna brush it with egg wash all over. So it gets a nice golden brown colour when it goes in the oven. So salmon in the oven takes 15 minutes and the pastry takes 20. So we're going to put it in for 20 minutes in the oven. Let's not mess around with it anymore. I want it to get ruined. So now sprinkle on some salt because we want that pastry to get nice and crispy when we cut into it. Salt, so yeah. Okay, so this is basically our salmon Wellington. There you go. There's the finished salmon Wellington, and hopefully it will turn out good in the oven, and hopefully don't forget to like and subscribe this video, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more delicious recipes. So I'm going to show you the finished product once it's cooked. So have a nice day guys, and we'll see you very very soon. Bye.